this song, I was jamming one day and I hit a couple of things. I'm like, that's a song. I'm sure you've done that. And so I figured out it was double vision. So it's like, okay, I gotta learn that. So here we are. Mick Jones does such a great job with his songs. He just really mixes it up as a player. Just a lot of feel, and this is a great example of that. We're going to go through all the lessons, discuss some of the timing intricacies. I've watched some other lessons on it, and the way they talk about the timing isn't quite right. So I want to go through that with you, because it's not as difficult as it may seem from other lessons. And no disrespect, it's just I use riff station to slow things down, and I can really hear and count what he's doing. So we'll go over that. Some other things to do, like when I played that intro, you know, there's another guitar doing some chords that are held while the first guitar continues on, and how you can kind of emulate that to make the intro sound like the record. So, as always, my notes will be right below the video, so you can click on that, click on the download link, you'll have them. We are in standard tuning for this. So to start out with, we're going to be hitting this G chord at the 12th fret. We'll just be using the 4th, 3rd, 2nd string. Then a semi-palm muted strike on the 5th string open to the 5th fret of the 4th and 3rd string. Now we'll come back and semi-palm mute again back to 5. At that point, we're going to hammer on and pull off from 5 to 7 back to 5. Then we're going to start it again. This time what we're going to do, and you can emulate, there's two guitars going on. There's one just doing this normal slide from 5 to 7. The other guitar is playing, and he holds that while the other guitar is coming back up to the G. Alright, so you can kind of emulate that, and that's how I wrote this out. So we want to use that. This is basically a big D chord. Alright, we're playing the bottom half of a D fifth, 4th, 3rd string, and the top half of a, very bottom half of a D sixth. Alright, so you put your 1st and 2nd string covered at the 10th fret, and we'll hit that down up, and then we quickly move to a D form over the 7th fret. That's a G chord. Alright, D, E, F, G, and slide that down. So that gets us emulating the album. Okay, if you're playing with one guitar and just playing along with the song yourself, you can do that. If you're two guitars, you can work out holding that one, guitar holding the D and with both registers, and the other guitar continuing on through the lick. Alright, so let's go over what we have so far. Slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we come back with our lick. So we're going to do the hammer on pull off again. This time we'll move back up to the 12th fret, sliding off. And all we're going to do is slide in and hold it from 5 to 7. You hear the drums, and then you hear them kind of slide down and start in to the rhythm of the verse. Okay, so for the verse rhythm, the thing you got to remember about the verses is when they start one count in. That's the difference. Rather than starting on 1, 2, 3, 4, they start on 1 and then 2, 3, then an open, and then back to your count. All right, so verse 1 starts with 2 hits on a, and this is muted, and I've noted that in my notes with red bold. And we'll be playing basically an A power chord and a G power chord. All right, so we start in on 2, so there'll be just 2 hits of A before we go to the 4 count, which is a G. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And then we'll start regular counting. 1, 2, 3 of the A, once off. That's 4. We'll do that 2 more times. Total of 3 post our intro. The third time, what we want to do is strike that A muted twice. So you're going down, up, muted, and then you hit an A power chord. Up to a D power chord, C, and G. All right, so verse 1, first measure. 1. The rest of it is simply 4 counts. All right, we're going to do that a total of 6 times before we go into the lick. All right, 6 counts of 4. The last time we hit the 3, we move to an open E, to an F on the 6th string, to 3 and 2 on the 5th string, and then to the 3rd fret of the 6th string. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3. It really makes sense. Follow my notes. You'll be able to, and it's not that hard to follow. So we're going to do the same 6 count, this time with our double hit. All right, and then back to the lick. All right, so we're to the chorus. The chorus is going to start out with, and this so we'll repeat 1 time, a D minor, and then we're going to come up to an A minor. All right, not played as full chords, but it'll sound like this. All right, I'm just going to stop there. What we're doing to start it out with, so we played this full D minor chord, then we're going to lift off and hammer into the chord. Then we play the bottom half of the top half, the 5 and 7, and up strum on the 5 and 6 on the other half of the chord. We'll do that twice. So we have this. Then we're going to slide from the 6th fret of the 6th string 3rd fret up to an A minor, and then up strum on that A minor on the first 2 strings. 2 more times. Again. Then what we do is we're going to move to an F. All right, the F will sound like this. I'll just stop there. So the F, we're going to hit the F root note, then the chord, then then again the root note and the chord, and slide down. So let me do both together. Then come back to the root note and the chord. 2 hits on a C chord. So just move up. We're not playing the full chord. We'll just do the power part of it. All right. Then we move to a D, and we're only going to be playing part of this chord. All right. The bottom or the top half with the 5 and 7 on the 6 and 5, and then we're going to really try not to hit the first string, hit the second and third. It just, the first, it sounds too trembly to me. So I think it's, that sounds a little better to me. Okay, so we're going to hit it twice. Then we're going to do one more. There's like a slight pause. One more time. Let me do it together. Then we move back to our F and then C. And then back to this D. The last time, okay, so we've done that 1, 2 times there, and then we're going to go to this leg. All right, so what we're hitting on the 6th string, we're going to go from 8 to 10, back to 8, and then hit 10, slide to 12. To 11, back to 10. And then 8. Alright, then we do a little reprise of the intro, if you will, shortened. So, as we come back in, we know that part. The second time through, you'll hear him hit a muted A 5th string twice and then come into a full power chord C and D. Then we're into verse 2. So verse 2 has that cool little lick in it in the 3rd measure. So we'll start it out, and I'll play through the first, well, let me go through the 3 measures. I'll do the lick in the 3rd measure. All right, we're going to start on the 2. All right, that lick is pull off from the 3rd string 2 to open, 4th string 2 to open, 3rd string 3, I'm sorry, 5th string 3 to open, and then hit open again. I've seen it taught where you go back to the A. Alright, so you'd be on the 3rd fret. That's too high a note. So I think he just hits the A twice. Then he's back into the rhythm. Ends it on the A. Then we're into chorus 2. Okay, chorus 2, the structure is very similar to chorus 1. There's a walk up to the F chord, alright, and at the end when we do the lick, there's actually 3 guitars. There's one doubling it, and then there's one just doing a chromatic walk down. Alright, so I'll show you how to play this with close to the recording. So we're going to play our C chord or D minor, and and then the A just like we have. Back to the D minor. Now when we come back to the A, all right, we're going to hit that 2 times with the higher strings. Then we go into this lick, this little walk up. So we're going A, B, C, and then down to an E note. So it'll be 5, 6, 7 on the 6th string, down to the 5th string at the 7th fret. Then we come in with the F. All right. Then we go into that, like I said, that final lick. All right, that's 1 time through, like I said, and that's, you can, this will be doubled. So they do it again. But underneath is another guitar just as prominent doing a walk down. All right. So he's going to go from G all the way to E. All right. So if, again, you're just playing along with the recording, it's fun to do both. And then you're back into the intro reprised. Alright, so the intro reprise is just like what we've learned, especially the intro part. Alright, and then what we do, let me go through it for you. When we get to that third, we're going to go into this lick. That leads us into the chorus. So that lick that leads us into chorus 3, which is basically the outro, go like this. Alright, so what we're going to do is hit the 6th string, 5th fret twice, then 8 back to 5, and then walk down 7, 6, 5, back to 8 on the 6th string, back to 5 on the 5th string, and roll off. Alright, now we're into chorus 3, which takes us out of the song. Our third and final chorus, which is the outro, is basically our D minor and A minor. Alright, what we're doing throughout this are what we've learned in the chorus. Alright, so that's a measure. The second measure, the only difference is the second time he goes through it, this is for the second and third measure, he does that little walk up. But we're not going to go to F, we're going to come back to our D minor. Alright, so it'll sound like this. And that continues until the 4th measure where they fade out. Alright, so that is basically the studio version. Now, I tried watching these guys do it live, and you know, they don't always focus on Mick Jones, and so I got a lot of it from there. But one cool lick that I did figure out is how they end the song. So we're going through that last chorus. He'll end it this way. Of course, they're normally tuned down a half step, but we're playing 5, 7, 8 on the 6th string to 7 on the 5th string. Then we're going to go back to 5, 7, 8, but this will be on the 5th string to 7 on the 4th. And then end with an A minor. So that's Double Vision. What a fun song to play. I really hope this helps everybody. Thank you for all your support and watching those stupid video ads, but it helps me with a little bit of cash to buy more guitars or whatever. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Enjoy.